What's up guys, Trevor here with Ecommerce Paradise. Today I wanted to just talk to you about why I love high ticket dropshipping so much. Okay, so my experiences mostly came from retail and wholesale. Back in the day, I had a sales job where I sold locks and security hardware at a distribution warehouse that was in Los Angeles. And so I learned all about distribution and all the different SKU numbers and all the different types of products that were in different areas of that field. There's so many freaking products and it's ridiculous. So what I started to realize was what these customers were doing was they were actually buying the products from the distribution company where I worked for me as a salesperson, and then they were sending them directly to their customers, and they were basically drop shipping. They would write on the invoice or on the purchase order they sent to us, they would say blind dropship, and what that meant was dropship without an invoice, so the customer wouldn't see the price that they paid. So they would pay me, my company, the company I worked for, a wholesale price. We would charge them the wholesale price on their account or charge their credit card or something like that, and they would charge their customer a retail price, or maybe a price that was just over wholesale, like a discounted retail price, retail price less 5% or 10%, whatever, depending on the margin, right? And they would basically not have to inventory that product. They wouldn't even have to look at it or anything. They could just sell it on their website, put a picture up, put a description up, and that person would go to the website through maybe an advertisement or an organic ranking, or maybe through social media or something like that, and they would find that product and they would buy it, and then they would get it in the mail in a package. So I was basically on the receiving end of those orders from the retailers, and I was thinking to myself, man, I could just do this myself. Why not? And so I was considering maybe I'll just set up a lock and security website, and then I can just process the orders myself. But then I started talking to my friend who was actually a supervisor at the company. He said it's not a good idea. It's going to be like a conflict of interest. There's going to be weird stuff going on. So I put that off. They had me doing sales in their electronics section, where I was doing electronic locks and stuff like that. I was the specialist because I'm smart enough to understand all that stuff and I could sell it pretty well. And so what I started to do was I would get purchase orders for stuff that we didn't have stock of. I had to custom order it, and sometimes I could just find it online, and so these purchase orders would come from government institutions half the time, schools or something like that, and they wouldn't really care what they paid for it. They just wanted to make it easy for ordering, to make their job easy for them. They had these budgets that they had to run through, and they just wanted to buy stuff for their department, and if they didn't spend the budget, it would reset and they would have a new budget, so they just might as well spend the money. So we would get these purchase orders sometimes that just said, here's a blank check, just send us some stuff, whatever you got. And then I could just source from wherever I wanted to online. So I would even do drop shipping for the company. I would order, a product from Amazon and have it shipped directly to the customer. Just put a gift receipt, on the checkout page so the customer wouldn't see the price. And I even heard that they got some complaints because of that, because the customers would get the products and be like, why did it come from Amazon? But the margins were so high that the bosses didn't really care. They just kind of laughed about it, at how much of an entrepreneur I was. In that case, they would call me an entrepreneur because I was being an entrepreneur within the business. But they didn't really like it that much. They thought, they were kind of more scared of backlash than they were of making good margins. And I just saw that they weren't really looking to help me grow. And so I just realized I might as well do this stuff myself. So I started talking to some guys coming in, and one of them recommended, we maybe should look at bicycles, and fixies or single speed bikes. And we looked at them and they're trendy, and heck yeah, let's do it. So that was my first niche. I opened a store selling fixies and single speed bikes. We got a supplier in LA, and they agreed to drop ship for us. I put up a website, Google shopping ads, organic ranking. We ended up getting organic rankings. I was doing SEO, and set up a WordPress store with Ecommerce, and then boom, we started getting sales, and pretty consistently. First year did 100,000, or first year, sorry, we did 50,000. Second year we did 100,000. Third year we did 500,000 in sales, and then I sold the business. Took a year off, went and just traveled around the entire year. First time in a long time I had that much time off, and camped and hiked and all sorts of stuff. Went back to LA, started another business, and then I went to Thailand after that and lived out there for a couple of years. Sold that business, started new stores, sold those stores. So high ticket dropshipping is this really cool thing because you have these expensive products, you don't have to inventory them. Okay, they ship direct to the customer, and each order usually is somewhere between $200 profit all the way up into like the thousands of dollars of profit. So you don't really need that many orders to make a really profitable business. Now, things have kind of changed in 2025 and during the pandemic and all that, it's harder to get stores launched now. It's harder to, get past payment processor holds, and it's harder to get on Google Merchant Center, and, ad costs are higher. A lot of things have changed because of competition and scammers, but it's still possible. And one of the main reasons I love it is not just because of the profits, but it's also because of the credit card rewards. So what I have figured out is that if I got a bunch of different business credit cards that offer points and cash back, the banks would reward me for running all of my transactions through their credit cards instead of just through my checking account. They'd give me somewhere between 1.5 and 2% cash back, or 1.5 to 2x, maybe up to 4x points per dollar spent. So like for advertising costs, it was like 3 to 4x points per dollar spent on ads, and then on cost of goods sold, it's like 1.5 to 2x points, or 2% cash back, or 1.5% cash back, and all these different credit cards. And there's tons of credit cards. There's like, all these different variations of business credit cards. There's Chase, there's Amex, there's Capital One. Those are the three that I mainly use. There's a bunch of other banks too, but those are the three that I use. And Chase has so many different cards. They have business cards, they have personal cards, they have their Chase Ultimate Rewards program. It transfers to Hyatt, which is the only one that does. So I really like using Chase for purchases because I can transfer points to Hyatt, which Hyatt has a great hotel program. They have amazing hotel rooms, and they have great hotel redemptions. Like I'm staying in a Hyatt right now. This is a category 2 room here in Denver, Colorado, and it's a really nice room for only 9,500 points. I think the normal price is like close to $200 a night or something like that. So it's a really good value. Running all of your purchases, all of your ads, all of your software expenses, all of your VA expenses through credit cards, it gets you lots of rewards. Now, the one thing you have to be careful with high ticket dropshipping is you aren't spending too much, that you are making that more than you spend, because otherwise, obviously, you're going to go into debt. So just make sure you keep track of your ads, keep track of your expenses, make sure that everything that's getting charged to the credit card is a legitimate charge. Suppliers aren't double charging you. That when you have returns and stuff like that you get refunds from suppliers. When your business scales up a lot, you're going to have to do a lot more financial management, and you should just definitely take a look at your accounts. I use an app for Shopify now called Finaloop. I highly recommend that. You can use my affiliate link, ecommerceparadise.com/Finaloop, Finaloop. And if you want to see all of our resources and stuff, just go to ecommerceparadise.com/resources. That's a great app. It works directly with Shopify. It's built for e-commerce and specifically for dropshipping. They can create your entire P&L, balance sheet, all that stuff, and prepare you for filing your taxes, and it makes it really easy. So definitely keep track of your finances. But if you do a good job of that, high ticket dropshipping is one of the most rewarding business models out there. You don't have to create a brand. You just create the store and then provide good customer service. And the way I do that is through hiring and training virtual assistants to be really good at it for me. And then I can travel around the world, or I can just chill and relax most of the day. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm focusing really hard on an e-commerce marketing agency, Ecommerce Paradise. I want to provide more value to others and help others to start their own e-commerce businesses and build them up and scale them up. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm working really hard to provide done-for-you services, kind of my main thing right now, because everything's changing all the time, so it's very hard to keep a course updated. My goal is to start a new store for myself so that I can update the course, and I will be working on that in the following month or so. But for now, it's just mostly we're really focusing on serving entrepreneurs. So if you're interested in getting a store made, but you just don't have the time to do it yourself, hit me up, Trevor@ecommerceparadise.com. You can go to ecommerceparadise.com/turnkey. It's my service package where we build you out an entire business, not just a store, but actually a business. We recruit the suppliers, onboard their products, launch the store and everything. And on the back end, now we have a full service management package where we provide you a dedicated VA, and then we also continually recruit suppliers, onboard more products, and do SEO, and update your inventory, update your prices, and all that stuff. do social media management, do ad management, do email marketing. All that stuff is done for you through that monthly management service. So I'm pretty much the only agency out there doing this, and I love high ticket dropshipping. It's like putting pieces of a puzzle together, and it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun too, and you can make a lot of money doing it. So I love helping people to do it. I don't mind if people are competing with me on an internal store. My goal really isn't to have the biggest store of my own. It's to have, you know, a decent, good enough store to make content with, but mostly just to serve others and to help them with their stores now, because I just had, you know, so much more enjoyment out of that. And you know, I really like the money that I make with that as well. So if you guys want information on that, go to ecommerceparadise.com or email me or comment below, and I'll send you the stuff. Right now, I also have a free niches list. It's 1,000 niches, so niche ideas for different products you can sell online. So definitely get that at ecommerceparadise.com/niches. Link is below in the description. I also have a blueprint, a free blueprint for high ticket dropshipping. It's what to do each step of the way to get launched and scale. It's basically just like a step-by-step process, SOP. How to launch. You can get that at ecommerceparadise.com/blueprint. And yeah, just highly recommend, you know, use credit cards, guys, to make the most of your profits and your spend, because generally speaking, high ticket dropshipping, the profits are around 10% net, right? And sometimes even less, depending on how many VAs you have or how much you spend on ads, or if it's like a seasonality thing or whatever. So, you know, credit card rewards really boost your profits a lot, and it gives you this luxury lifestyle as well, and it kind of can help you just like live the life of your dreams. You know, it really can, and it's amazing. But high ticket dropshipping is awesome just because, you know, you don't need to do all the brand development, packaging, you know, inventory, storage, shipping, all that stuff. You don't need to do any of that. You just work with other brands and partner with other brands and help them market and sell their and do customer service and stuff like that. I love it so much, and if you do too, hit me up and I can help you with it. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.